Well, even though we have not come to the end of the pandemic, there are several of the sectors that continue to struggle. They're waiting for the businesses to bounce back. But one such sector that we have looked at a significant improvement is the housing sector. If you're really going by the report, this is filed by 99acres.com. It does talk about how they have seen an increase in property sales, which is at least about 45%. Now, that is, of course, a very big number if you're talking about the Q3 analysis. This is between October 2020 and December 2020. Now, speaking to some of the market experts, including especially some of the big property and developers, what they tell us is that, which includes Puravankara and Vaishnavi Group, they tell us, yes, of course, they have seen an 100% increase. That is, if you're talking about January 2021. We understand it's been a very tough year. Economic activities are just coming back. Businesses are bouncing back. But there is one thing that we have witnessed right here, especially in the housing segment. It's doing pretty well. Why and how?
Yeah. Firstly, we are extremely happy as a sector, real estate sector. It's on a recovery path. In fact, Q1-2 of 2021 was a bit disappointing, and it was very stressful for the industry because the sales velocity had just dropped dead because of the lot of uncertainty thanks to the corona year. And now, fortunately, post the lockdown, maybe starting Q3 of 2021, the recovery in the real estate segment kicked in, and I was told by the financial institutions that was the best quarter, even comparing to 2018-2019 pre-COVID era. Q3 2021 was the best year for even the financial institutions.
Well, if I could interrupt you there, if you could provide us in terms of data, because this is for the viewers to understand more. Pre-COVID time, what was the kind of sales in terms of percentage, and what are we looking at today?
All right, pre-COVID, Q1, Q2 was very disappointing of 2021 compared to 1920. But the recovery started from Q3 onwards. In terms of percentage, it was about 82%. 82% was the recovery rate in Q3 compared to 1920.
So how better is this? How better is this in terms of, what is the exceeding limit are we looking at?
No, say suppose 10,000 apartments would have been sold then, 8,000 apartments was the recovery. Because Q1, Q2 was absolutely at that, it was, hovering around 20, 22, 25%. But there was a sudden jump in Q3 of 2021 compared to 1920. And more so surprisingly, January of 2021 as a month, there is 122% kind of growth compared to what the business January of 2020 did.
What was then? If you're telling me this is 100%, what was then?
No, that's what. Whatever the numbers of 2020 January, there is 122% kind of a rise.
That's a big jump, in fact.
That is very encouraging to the sector.
Right. Also, one final question. What we want to understand is that, will this actually continue, the trend that we are looking at now? And of course, you're saying that, the trend is picking up, but will it continue is a question?
Definitely, I'm very, very confident. The real estate industry, especially the housing sector, is going to do very, very well because the economy is in a kind of a recovery mode right now, and a lot of, employment is going to be created. There's going to be a lot of stability. Now there is going to be the emotional, quotient also of the people will enhance with the corona, with the vaccine, coming in. IT industry is doing well. Automobile industry is on a recovery path, and I am very confident it is only going to improve going from now onwards.
Well, thank you for that.
Yes, the reason for the increase in sales is, first of all, during the pre-COVID era or during the COVID times, everything came to a standstill. Then once people understood what the virus was all about, life began to normalize. And then along with that, businesses normalized. And one of the first activities to pick up was real estate. So there was a pent-up demand. And that pent-up demand reflected in sales picking up. Besides that, when there is a disruption like the coronavirus in everybody's lives, people become insecure. And when people are insecure, the first thing they do is they want to capitalize and build assets rather than spend money on day-to-day expenditure. And that's what is happening, and that's another factor that's helped increase sales.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long is this here to stay? What do you think? The market analysis.
I think the business cycle has turned. Real estate was going through a long drawn-out recession for the last 2-3 years. Yes. We have hit rock bottom in March, coinciding with the virus. And I think since the last quarter or two, sales have picked up. And I think we are good to go for the next 5, 6, 7 years.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah, we should see a new boom in real estate,
right.
Not just in Bangalore, but all over India.
Will you be able to give us some data to support it by saying that pre-COVID, how did it actually do in terms of percentage? And today, if you're talking about the sales, if you can provide that data.
We don't have official published data, but if you see the figures put out by the listed developers such as Prestige, Shobha, Purvankara,
Right.
and Brigade, you will see the sales have grown up anywhere between 50% to 80%
Okay.
year on year, and about 20-30% quarter on quarter.
Okay. Is this much better when you're talking about this year? Is it better than pre-COVID?
Actually, this quarter compared to last year same time, there's been a major improvement.
Okay.
Right.
This is also one of the reasons because of the home loans.
Yes, what has happened is interest rates have also come off. The number of projects, new projects on launch has reduced. And the number of buyers has gone up because millennials who previously spent money on travel didn't have anywhere to travel, and so they're thinking of have bought into real estate. So all of this has added up to a real surge in demand for real estate.
And of course, this trend is set to continue is what we are looking at. As far as the micro markets are concerned, the housing segment that we are talking about is standing between 50 lakh to rupees 80 lakh. Now that is the kind of demand that we are looking at this point in time. With video journalist Santosh, this is Shrita reporting from Mirror Now.